engagement. US President added to know and annual defense policy bill that highlights broadlining America's engagement with India, including through the accords to advance the shared objective of a free and open Indo-Pacific region and address the challenge posed by China. Signed into law Thursday also states that the Secretary of State shall establish and maintain within the US-India Strategic Security Dialogue joint consultative mechanism with the Indian government in connection with the nuclear liability rules. It authorizes fiscal year appropriation for the Department of War, the Department of Energy National Security Programs, the Department of State, the Department of Homeland Security, the Intelligence Community, and other executive departments and agencies, the defense industrial base, while eliminating funding for wasteful and radical programs that undermine the war fighting ethos of our nation. The act strengthen U.S. defense alliances and partnerships in the Indo-Pacific region to further the comparative advantage of the U.S. in strategic competition within China. Indo-Pacific region through bilateral and bilateral participation in military and collaboration on humanitarian aid and disaster response, and to enable greater cooperation on maritime security, our quadrilateral security dialogue comprising India, the US, Japan, and Australia, set up in 2017 to counter China's aggressive behavior in the Indo-Pacific region. The Act states that the Secretary of Defense, in coordination with the Secretary of State, shall establish and maintain a security initiative to strengthen cooperation among the defense industrial base of the US and allied allied and partner countries in the Indo-Pacific region. This shall strengthen the collective defense industrial base by expanding its capacity, and workforce, including enhanced supply chain security, interoperability, and resilience among participating countries. The two secretaries shall establish a process to determine which allies and partners of the US, including Australia, Japan, and the Republic of Korea, India, the Philippines, and New Zealand, shall be invited to participate as member countries of the security initiative itself. In a section titled Joint Assessment between the United States and India on nuclear liability rules, it states that the Secretary of State shall establish and maintain within the US-India strategic security dialogue and consultative mechanism with the Indian government. The mechanism would convene regularly to assess the implementation ratification of the agreement for cooperation between the US government and government of India concerning issues usage of nuclear energy, signed in Washington in 2008, it said. Suspect in Brown University shooting an MIT professor, killing found dead. Suspect in death of MIT professor was former classmate. Suspect in killing of a Massachusetts technology professor was his former classmate. Ground suspense green card green card scholarship program that let men into US have storage facility. The authorities discovered the man dead inside and then revealed he also was suspected of killing a Massachusetts Institute of Technology professor. Australia wants to hate girls as best is led to rest. From Sydney, Australia announced plan to buy back guns in wake of attack from Sydney. In the wake of attack on choice that arrest yellow toys from the coffin of 10-year-old Matilda, who was born as an oceanside full of animals and dancing. Matilda's middle name was Lee, which inspired activities, there wheel stickers and Big themes, toys and balloons. While some burners were yellow, Matilda's family has asked the media not to use their surname. The line outside the hall where Matilda's funeral was held at noon in Sydney's eastern suburbs snagged down the street. Many ones who could not get in watched the service on a screen outside the building. Some were angry at the government. It had not done enough to combat a rise in anti-Semitism since the start of the war in Gaza. Albanese, meanwhile, introduced legislation that makes it easier to charge people supporting hate speech and violence. Myanmar arrests hundreds under new election law ahead of December what the law prohibits actions aimed at the law prohibits actions aimed at disrupting the election as well as staging protests, including criticism on social media. Russia deploys nuclear capable ballistic missile in Belarus from Moscow. Belarus president and authoritarian president said Thursday that Russia had deployed its latest nuclear capable ballistic missile system to the country, a move that comes as talks to end the war in Ukraine have entered a crucial phase. Russian farmer protest turned ugly as EU Mercosur linked cheese to Lord even cherished is that too good to be true. शेख हसीना आईसीटी का फैसला न्याय नहीं राजनीतिक दुश्मनी शेख हसीना से मुझे भरोसा है कि स्वतंत्र अदालत मुझे बरी कर देगी विकसित भारत जी राम जी विधेयक बना कानून राष्ट्रपति द्रौपदी मुर्मू ने मंजूरी ग्रामीण 100 दिनों से बढ़ाकर 125 दिन हुई पश्चिम बंगाल संदेश खाली का मुख्य आरोपी आलिम मुला पर भोला घोष की हत्या करने की कोशिश का आरोप। शेख हसीना से खून खराबा रोकने के लिए बांग्लादेश छोड़ा था। यूनियन सरकार आईसीटी का फैसला नहीं राजनीतिक दुश्मनी का मामला। मुझे भरोसा है कि एक अदालत मुझे बरी कर देगी। शेख हसीना से विकसित भारत जी राम जी विधेयक बना कानून। ग्रामीण रोजगार गारंटी 125 दिन तक मिली। राष्ट्रपति द्रौपदी मुर्मू ने जी राम जी विधेयक को दी मंजूरी। भोला घोष की हत्या करने की कोशिश का पश्चिम बंगाल से संदेश मुख्य आरोप। राम पंचायत 6000 सीट पर भाजपा की पंचायत के चुनाव से दिखाया। आईसीटी का फैसला न्याय नहीं राजनीतिक दुश्मनी। महायुति ने 250 से अधिक महापौर पदों पर जमाया कब्जा। महाराष्ट्र निकाय चुनाव में महायुति की विजय। पीएम मोदी से विकास के साथ मजबूती से खड़ा है महाराष्ट्र। विकसित भारत जी राम जी। The others whose properties have been attached include model Neha Sharma, Bengali actor Ankush Hara, Ankush Raja, Rotela, the mother actor, and others. The enforcement director on Friday said it has attached assets was to combine with 8 crore of former Indian cricketers, actors, and model like Yuvraj Singh have been new Bureau of Port Security to boost port vessel security. Government says from New Delhi to beef up the security in infrastructure. To beef up the security infrastructure of Paris. To beef up the security infrastructure of ports, the government will set up a statutory body, the Bureau of Port Security, that will ensure timely analysis, collection, and exchange of security-related information of ports and vessels. Officials said on Friday. Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday convened a meeting for the constitution of a dedicated body. The Bureau of Port Security and Waterways, Rajasthan, for Kendin Bundi accident from Kota. PSC's to anticipate damage intelligence from Hyderabad. Then Jyoti Murmu on Friday said Service Commission need to anticipate emerging challenges in technology and also focus on transparency and developing globally comparable teams of civil servants. Speaking after inaugurating the National Conference for Chairperson of Public Service Commission here, she also said the Public Service Commission should give the highest priority to the aspect of honesty and integrity of candidates they recruit. The Public Service Commission need to anticipate the emerging challenges on the frontier of technology, strengthening transparency and credibility as well as developing globally. Developing globally comparable teams of civil servants can. Momoon noted that integrity, sensitivity, and competence of the civil servants constituting the permanent executive are of utmost importance for implementing the people-oriented policies at national and state levels. She stressed that honesty and integrity were paramount and non-negotiable, while lack of skills and competencies can be dealt with through learning, intervention and several other strategies. Lack of integrity may pose a threat. The President asked the Public Service Commission to look for Indigo issue decision assessment. CCI from New Delhi. Competition Commission Chairperson Pradeep Kaur on Friday said that it is not the initial the fair कानून बन गया जी राम जी बिल आले मुल्ला पर भोला हो मनरेगा की जगह अब नया कानून पीक सीजन में राहत बुआई कटाई के समय मजदूरों की कमी नहीं होगी। राज्य सरकारें 60 दिन तक काम रोक सकेंगी। केंद्र सरकार धार्मिक अवसरों की रक्षा मजदूर उपलब्ध रहने से अतिरिक्त वेतन नहीं देना होगा। किसानों को फायदा। खेती की लागत Coast Guard Commission Fast Patrol Vessel Amulya, the 51 metro ship is designed and built by Goa shipyard from New Delhi. Indian Coast Guard ship Amulya, the third vessel in the new generation Adamya class fast patrol vessel has been commissioned, officials said on Friday. Can Andhra's Green Earth Corridor fuel India's clean energy dreams? The state's 974-kilometer coastline holds high-grade rare earth reserves, driving India's clean energy, defense and semiconductor ambition. Policy push, PLI incentives and fast-track mining plans position it as a strategic mineral hub. Long Andhra Pradesh sitting 974 kilometers coastline. The waves wash more than picturesque beaches and bustling fishing harbors. Beneath the dark, heavy sands, सालाना 125 दिन रोजगार की गारंटी। कानून बन गया जी राम जी बिल। विनोद सरकार धार्मिक अल्पसंख्यकों की रक्षा करने में नाकाम। शेख हसीना सेज आईसीटी का फैसला न्याय नहीं राजनीतिक दुश्मनी का मामला। शेख हसीना शेख मुझे भरोसा है कि स्वतंत्र अदालत मुझे बरी कर देगी। विकसित भारत की राम जी विधेयक बना कानून। जीएसटी कट ड्राइव एमएसएमई लॉन्ग डिमांड फ्रॉम चेन्नई और मुंबई। The GST rate cut is driving MSMEs to seek additional funding from banks for expansion after the GST raising banks have been a spike in inquiries by single digits in H2. Without majority sheepish subsegments likely to close the fiscal on a positive note. Markets snap for session losing run on global trend from Mumbai. Net direct tax 30 analyst inflation responded. The Punjab and Haryana High Court has stated the Bhagwan Maan led a government's move to elevate non-state services officials of Punjab into the IIS. 10 दिसंबर को भोला गवाह को मारने की tension grieves Bangladesh after an unrest over Osman Hadi death. Vandalism at several places from Dhaka. Hindu man his body set on fire. Illegal betting case city attaches assets of Jumi Robin actors. Danny Group likely to bid for 11 airports. Despite no to bid for 11 airports. Despite no संदेश खाली कांड का मुख्य आरोपी गिरफ्तार। Two students injured as brawl leads to firing from Jalandhar. And SGBC objects to the notification. Panel flags whether the court proceedings are विकसित भारत जी राम जी विधेयक Oman FTA likely to be operationalized in 3 months. Goel says from New Delhi, India and Oman will endeavor to implement the India-Oman Free Trade Agreement signed on December 18 within the next 3 months. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal told Zero Duty Express follow 98 of its tariff lines on product categories covering 99.38% of India's exports to the Gulf country. All major labor-intensive sectors including gems and jewelry, textiles, leather, footwear, sports tools, plastics, furniture, agricultural products, engineering products, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and automobiles will attract duty 100% in Oman. Foreign exchange and colleagues witness in Jharkhand's longer waiting. Officers suggested by a panel from two departments only please Supreme Court restores check disorder plan. Says High Court conducted drawing inquiry and committed by testing whether check was issued as part of debate. From New Delhi, the Supreme Court on Thursday set aside the Patna High Court order, which quashed criminal proceedings arising out of a check dishonor complaint, saying the High Court committed an error by conducting a rowing inquiry by the pre-trial stage. A bench of justices Manoj Mehta and Bhushan Udal Bian said the High Court in its jurisdiction under Section 192 of the Code of Criminal Procedure had proceeded to test whether the check was issued for the discharge in following payment of any debt or other liability. According to some earlier verdicts of the apex court and the provision of the negotiable instruments that the bench shared were of the considered that the High Court committed an error by conducting a rowing inquiry at the necessary provisions of Section 30 established by offense and order of the High Court, which creates criminal proceedings arising out of the complaint case. The appellant had lodged a complaint under Section 138 of the Act against a person claiming that his check issued to him in lieu of delivery of goods was dishonored. The magistrate took 38 of the respondent moved the High Court challenging the standing order. The High Court based the complaint hinge on that the check was not issued for the records. The law is well settled that while considering a prayer to push the criminal case, the consequential proceedings at the threshold, the court is required to examine whether the allegations made in the complaint along with the material in support thereof make out compliant conclude that continuance of proceedings would amount to an abuse of the process or where question is necessary to secure the ends of justice. The bench said in this case, the complaint clearly spelled out the necessary ingredients for the commission of an offense punishable under Section 138 of the Act. While allowing the appeal, the bench set aside the High Court's order and restored the criminal complaint on the file of the concerned magistrate. The top court made it clear that it has not expressed any opinion as to whether the check in question was issued for the discharge in whole or in part of any debt or liability. Oman and likely to be operationalized in 3 months, Goyal says from New Delhi. From chaos to calm, airport, meditation, and pramada. The researchical pattern, opportunity disguised as a crisis, as fog enveloped runways and sleek machinery halted. Bustling terminals transformed into unwilling centers. Civilizational civilization started with a good harbor, too much friction is bad, so is too little. The special British jobs ran a study for the British government that showed better engine lubricants could save our 500 million pounds each year by cutting friction losses. Menopause makes you want to wish the mirror, anger and hot flashes and sagging together on liberating. Trying to impress others is a past comfort mantra. What teaches and prompts this time you are finally where you always wanted to be. Everyone can do with a little once now and then it arrives like a fairy godmother and turns you into a pumpkin. How joyful you may be, your face advertises you as someone who just bit into a lemon. And gnaw in the shop window when stop openly starting. When stop openly staring, you are slowly vanishing from sight. Once you were hysterical, then came a free upgrade to eccentric. Someone calls you a fishwife. Downpour in Dubai, take a real check on dishing climate change. Here comes the flood again in the deserts. Some among the globalites, including state heads and the powerful ultra-rich, can scoff at climate change. But the extreme weather climate change triggers hits no criticism. The danger in Bangladesh is to losing its identity to fundamentalists. The widespread vandalism and arson in Bangladesh in the last 24 years called as India's silver bullet. There is $5 worth of gold idling with households. It can create a real wealth effect by famous passengers and cargo. Yet it would not have carried all the gold owned by Indian households. The recent Morgan Stanley report estimates our David 5,000 tons among the world's लहर का अनुमान मैदानी इलाकों में शीत लहर नागपुर में 23 दिसंबर तक सभी स्कूल बंद विकसित भारत की राम जी विदेश बना कानून के फ्लोरिडा Irish Foundation. The Archaeological Survey of India has excavated a portion of the historic summer palace of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, unearthing its original flooring made of lakheri bricks. Also, no other evidences the immense heritage value of the monument. PSI has also announced further excavation to restore a part of the palace's original architectural continuity. Jharkhand demands probe into gangsters charged against AAP from Chandigarh. Man hand over 505 minibus permits says transport monopolies. Transport monopolies. this maintained from Chandigarh. Government to